Batteries down.
All right, we're gonna try to. It's pretty late in the afternoon, but we're gonna see if we can get this front end back together on the car. Just got back from picking up a new shop tool. Well, it's an old vintage shop tool, but something I think we'll get a lot of use out of. So once we get the Touareg out, we'll try to get it into the shop and see if she works. Next thing we're gonna put on is our header assembly here. Put that on, and then our bumper here, that sandwiches right on there. Then we'll put the center grille support, then some trim pieces underneath the headlights and all that good stuff. So then we put the bumper cover on. So you're gonna wanna set your radiator cooler setup in first before you put your header assembly on. Otherwise it won't fit down in the front with all the pulleys and stuff. So there's a little bracket that goes across the frame rails. It sits nicely there. It doesn't bolt. I just got a temporary sitting there. Let's put the headers and everything in there, the header panel. We'll be able to set the radiator in place. Alright, so we're just about ready to get a test run for the first time since we got it all back together. But we do have a problem. I drained the transmission oil, replaced the oil filter, and went to pull the fill plug on the transmission pan, and somebody's over tightened it and rounded it up pretty good. So we're gonna see if we can get it off, maybe with some heat. If not, I gotta pull that whole pan back off, try to get it out that way. Okay, so as you can see, somebody's really chewed this thing up. It's supposed to be a 17mm Allen. Let's see. This is what it looks like. Again, it's supposed to be 17mm. If you use this, you won't have any problems. If you don't use this, then you make it look like that. This one they overstripped too. So finally got them in from Volkswagen. I got a new one of these sealing rings. So we'll get this changed out. Alright, so we had some problems. We went to fill the transmission fluid. Somebody rounded it out. It's supposed to be a number 17mm Allen head. You can see they just rounded out. So I actually did this chisel, trying to knock it loose. Put vice grips on it, tried to break it loose, heated it up, tried to break it loose, had a hammer on it, does not budge. And this one, I'll pull it out and show you, but they actually stripped the threads off of this one. So we did, went ahead and ordered a replacement pan. This is from basically they recondition used parts. It looks pretty much brand new. That's a Volkswagen part number for it. Came with this. It looks like they did an insert on it and put a different type of drain plug because, as you can see, it's not endorsed. Nice and clean. So I'll put this on with a new filter and gasket, and I ordered from Volkswagen. I ordered the fill plug, which is 17, so that'll go in that new hole. That's the part number for that. This is the sealing washer for the big plug. That's the part number for that. And then for your drain plug, the replacement drain plug is right here. See, all those threads are missing on that band there. I'll pull it out and show you. So I went in and ordered a new one and a new O-ring or sealing washer. It's just a crush washer like you see on some of the spark plugs. Here's the part number for the drain plug. Here's the part number for the drain plug sealing washer. So I'll keep these two for the other Touaregs that we have. And we'll install this on the replacement pan and we'll get this thing hopefully running today. take that off, that one, and that one. We'll pull that tranny out, filter off, put the new one on, and clean it all up. Here's the old filter removed from the transmission. You can see the O-ring that was on there was actually pinched in a couple different places and rolled on itself. So I'll make sure when I put the new one in, get it seated in properly. Okay, I'll be over there. Here's part number for the transmission filter kit. Comes with the oil pan seal, little metal spacers, O-ring filter, and the filter. Okay, I got the new filter installed, the O-ring. I put a little bit of transmission fluid on the O-ring so it slid right in nice. 3 bolts to hold it in. And we'll get the new pan ready to install. Okay, so it's morning. We are hoping to have this thing running here shortly. We drew a vacuum down on our cooling system. This one dropped down to 12, and it's holding there. So once we're done, I usually let it go for 10 or 15 minutes. You can see the hoses are all constricted down. Got our coolant ready. This is the coolant that I recovered. It's good coolant, but I rinse these out so I could pour this in there because my fitting doesn't fit into these European coolant bottles. You can see this piece here blocks it. So to use this one, I just have clean bottles here that I pour into, and then it draws from there. So once we're ready, we'll just have to open up this valve and it'll draw it in. And then we're gonna we refilled the power steering reservoir, but we're gonna bleed it, just turning it back and forth here, and then we gotta bleed the brakes, and then we should be ready to give it a test drive start. Here.
Thank you.
Add a little bit more. sensor circuit, performance, no signal, camshaft signal position, bank 1, upper limit exceeded, camshafts. So these are sporadic or passive, so they happen at one point. This one's active, camshaft position, no signal. Maybe the connector didn't get on there. Yeah. Clear DCTs. At least we don't have the correlation issue. Could be when it fired up too. So. We'll find out.
So right here is where we get the stability control light come on the dash. Right here is where our check engine light comes on. And right here where the tach goes to 4,000 or just over 4,000, it's going into limp mode. And we're losing power, decelerating. This is where we decide to pull off on the side of the road, check the code, see if we can get it out of limp shift.
We need to diagnose that because that's going to give us that problem. Let's see if we can clear the code enough to it. Car's coming. Let's see if we can go see camshaft.
So here I'm trying to clear the codes, and as soon as I clear the code, it comes right back, and it's the camshaft position sensor circuit failure. And as soon as it's cleared, it comes right back, so we know it's an active code and an active issue going on right now. Luckily, we were able to get it out of limp mode by clearing the correlation error code that we got.
Yeah, it's going to the full book. Tighten up the drive line pulls in there. That's up.
And now, as you can hear, we have that driveline thud going on underneath the car. Just a solid banging. It's only under load, and it's right there where the driveline's coming out of the transmission. What we can tell. My first thought is the carrier bearing, just because I've test drive of the Touareg didn't go so well. We got a few issues. We're still getting a camshaft position sensor error, circuit error. We got a thud coming from underneath us. Sounds like the drive line. We have a stability control light that popped up. So we have more troubleshooting to do on this Touareg, but that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.